Good morning.
Okay, we're on the air. Let's get started, and don't forget to silence your gadgets and break Mimi's keyboard. And Madam Clerk, you want to roll us in with a roll call?
Val.
Here.
Kern.
Here.
Freeling.
Present.
Harrison.
Here.
Hinkleman. Majeri.
Here.
Ott.
Here.
Pittsburgh.
Here.
Ballraff.
Here.
Werfel.
Here.
Scarborough.
Present.
Elliott.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 11 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Minutes. Anyone want to approve those? Alex, you have to say, okay. It's not an auction, remember. Moved by Ott, supported by Pitchford. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Requisition review.
Does anybody have any questions about the requisitions? Thank you.
We are privileged tonight to have with us a up and coming man on the comedy scene. Also can do a really good apportionment report. Say a big hello to Warren Parrish.
Oh, well, that worked.
And I think you're
Starting off
good.
strong this morning, great.
You're good, okay.
All right,
Look, it
thanks so
even
much.
works. Oh my gosh.
So local realtor is showing properties to a potential buyer, but there was a property in their portfolio that they would not show to the buyer, and the buyer says, what's the deal with this last property? Why don't you show it to me? And the realtor explains, well, you wouldn't be interested in that house because it's for cats. Buyer says, what are you talking about? What do you mean it's for cats? He says, well, it would take you 9 lives to pay off the mortgage. If you're watching from home, everyone's laughing really, really hard, but their microphones are off. All right, so
So
apportionment.
one-handed claps. They can't hear
Yeah,
them, but
yeah.
we're doing it.
Exactly.
So
Clapping as well. It's very exciting. Thursday morning. So what's all the fuss about with apportionment? Let's see here.
somebody took.
Here.
Oh, thank you.
So yes, today we are going over the 2023 apportionment report, which aims to accomplish 2 things. 1, to present the millage rates levied throughout Berrien County, and 2, to show the revenue impacts of said rates. I phrase it that way because in April, I presented the equalization report, which deals with all of the values throughout the county, which was then approved by you, the board. And now in October, by law, you're required to approve the millage rates to be levied, which is the second half of that equation, the values against the millage rates. So, fun fact, the information in this report reflects some 200 plus millage rates that are levied by 70 various taxing authorities or taxing jurisdictions throughout Berrien County. That's my way of saying this is a lot of work. It goes on throughout the year, all year long, we're compiling this information and doing all of the calculations necessary. The report itself is, I don't know how many pages it is. For 78, and that says it's 78. She really studies this stuff. For those of you who've been around a while, the apportionment report has always, or at least for the last several years, been in a certain format. I did make some formatting changes this year that I'm sure you all keyed in on and thought, this is great. The idea was to make it easier to read, and super excited about that. All right, so what are we doing here today? Well, the board, according to MCL number that I didn't list in the presentation, the board must approve all millage rates to be spread across all taxing authorities throughout Berrien County. Part of that process is ensuring that they have all been rolled back or reduced as necessary. So this year, I've calculated all of the millage rollbacks as I always do, but this year there were only 5, which compares to about 39. Last year and the year before that, I think it was in the 50s. This year we've got 4 villages and in 1 school. I don't know why it says 4 authorities, because it's 0 authorities, but maybe didn't update that number. 4 villages and 1 school being rolled back. When I presented this to your finance committee, Commissioner Freeling pointed out that's kind of surprising to have even 5, and I agree. The reason for that is because inflation being as high as it was in 2023, the inflation rate multiplier that we have to use statewide was 7.9. However, the increase to taxable value from inflation was limited to 5%. However, the inflationary allowance used in the millage rollback calculation didn't have that same 5% limitation. It was the full 7.9. Long story short, rollbacks were much less likely. It's more than ever in history. That was a very unique situation in 2023. So that's why we're seeing such a low number of millage rollbacks this year. I wanted to just give a breakdown of all of those 70 taxing authorities. There's of course the county, townships, cities, villages, schools, and then you've got your libraries, the St. Joseph Downtown Development Authority. It's a lot. We're a big county. And then I have some slides just kind of highlighting what the report looks like. This is one of the pages that I've changed the formatting on. But the first section of the report deals with what are the rates, what are the millages, and this is just a sample slide from it where it gives you by school district within each municipality what the breakdown is for the various levies that have been requested. The second section of the report is that second half, which is the values that the millage rates would be levied against. And again, I changed the formatting on this to hopefully make it a little bit easier to read. I don't know, I feel probably way more passionate than makes sense, but about that formatting change. So there you go. It's great. The third section of the report. There's a few charts and graphs, and this is just an example that shows, you know, here's the rates in each of these taxing jurisdictions kind of side by side. And there's some other charts in there as well, but this is just an example. The fourth section is a unit by unit. When I say unit, I'm not referring to, in this case, townships and cities. Breakdown of here's all of the proposed levies, here's all of the requested rates, here's the valuations, the taxable valuations, and then as a result, here is the projected revenue. So this is the bulk of the report. This is where all the good stuff is. There is a distinction between a local unit and a taxing unit. That's why I phrased it the way I did. Local units being township cities, taxing units being anyone that has the authority to levy a millage. And then the last part of the report just kind of recaps all of the, again, the rates and the values. And this is just a section showing the counties, because I thought you'd find that the most pertinent. But as I remarked earlier in the year, you know, we've seen record increases, taxable value now reaching almost 9.6 billion, which is pretty insane. I'm anticipating hitting the 10 billion mark in 2024. So FYI. And what else we got? Oh, yes. So the law requires that the rates get approved now in October, which creates an interesting situation oftentimes because there is still a November election. And it can often be the case that there's a proposal for a millage on the ballot for November to still yet be collected in 2023. Well, you can't very well approve a millage that hasn't been elected yet or approved by the voters. So there are two proposals this year for November. We've got a fire millage in Weesaw and an operating millage in Benton Harbor. Provided those millages pass in November, those units will update their millage requests to me, and I will prepare an amended apportionment report and a new resolution addressing that amended apportionment report. It's just because the way the law times the approval of these that becomes necessary. So it's not unusual, but it's just a special thing that we have to deal with. So I wanted you to be aware that there's two millages that aren't in this that might be later. And the city of Benton Harbor, yes. And yeah, that was it. That's all I got. It's very, very exciting stuff.
Questions for Warren? Ma'am,
I have a question. How long are these millages for? The one for Benton Harbor is a renewal. It says for 2023. Do they have to come back every year, or are there a number of years?
I want to say off the top of my head that proposal is for 10 years. So it is to start in 2023 and then would expire in.
And the Weesaw one,
10
do you
years.
know for how long they want that?
I don't have that one off the top of my head.
Mhm.
I can certainly send an email to the group and
May I ask, did the city of Benton Harbor not have their millage renewed a couple of years ago?
I don't know.
They didn't put it on the ballot?
So what happened with that is it expired at the end of 2022. And so if a municipality seeks to renew an expired millage, they have numerous opportunities to do that. They can do it using this example, they could do it, put it on the ballot in 2022 to be in effect for 2023. They could actually do it in 2021 if they wanted to be in effect for 2023. That'd be very unusual, but it does happen. But they can also put it on the ballot in 2023 to be in effect for 2023. And that's what we're seeing here.
Okay.
So it's just the timing of it.
Didn't lose money.
They haven't lost money. Nope. Provided, you know, that election, that millage is approved by the electors and it gets approved, then it would be a no change situation for the city of Benton Harbor.
May I have?
yes, ma'am.
I have one more question. On the senior citizens millage, does it say that it will be divided equally? I ask this because some people come and say, you need to give more, money than whatever. And
Sure.
I even had a lady that was calling me, and I looked it up and told her how much they get. I said, that's enough to do anything in the world, not to mention the bequests and all the other things that come. And she stopped calling me.
Well, sure. I think that is a very good question. Unfortunately, it's not one that falls into my realm of expertise. I have to defer you to potentially finance on that. I'm not sure how I don't know how the disbursements work or even the collections. I just know how the values work.
Thank
So
you.
I'm very sorry, I do not have the answer to that question,
It's okay.
but it is a good question,
Thank you so much.
of course.
Any other questions for Mr. Parrish? You mentioned cats, your opening monologue
Yes.
involved cats. Staying with that theme, there were 2 dogs. Spike,
Dogs aren't cats.
right,
Okay,
well,
just making sure we're good.
right. But Spike and Joe were sitting on the curb lawn one sunny day. And coming down the street in the convertibles, their friend Rex in the passenger seat. Convertible's top is down. Rex has his arm up on the door. He's happy. His ears are flopping. His owner's driving along, smiling with sunglasses on. And as Rex goes by, he waves to Spike and Joe, big wave, "Hey, guys." And then he goes by. And Joe says to Spike, "Poor Rex." And Spike says, "What do you mean, poor Rex?" He said, "He misunderstood. When she said, 'We're going somewhere,' he thought she said, 'You're going to get tutored.'" So there you go. You can use that one next time.
Wow. He's had that locked and loaded. I'm impressed.
Okay, everyone, Warren Parrish,
Thank you.
public comments. Anyone have any?
Mr. Chair, some of the board may have heard comments by the public about the volume in the room. I think all of you have heard that. The IT department has been working to come up with ways to just amplify the volume without creating undue expenses and just more complicated technology. Put simply, if we boost the volume in here, your microphones cause feedback. So I'm really pleased. Chris and his team came up with a no-cost solution. They grabbed an extra set of headphones from the court. So should anyone need just better audio for this room, that is here. They put them on and they'll be able to hear everything that's going through the microphone system. IT department came up with a solution, and literally they put this together with just leftover materials. So you got no money into it. The headphones are here.
Super.
And then we do have a Guy in the room. If anyone has questions for Guy about health department issues, he'll be here and happy to assist you in any way. That's all I've got for today's committee of the whole. Mr. Chair, any questions, concerns?
No, but I want to make sure we have the assembled multitudes here. We have 4 gentlemen. Do any of you have anything you'd like to say to the board at this time? Okay, well, you're welcome to participate. Happy to have you here, whether you comment or not. Other business, ma'am.
I'd like to ask Guy something.
Okay,
Yes.
Guy, please
would you
come on
tell
up.
us about the flu shots and are there COVID shots at the same time? Something about 26.
Yeah, yep. We're doing flu shots for county staff over here and at the courthouse. I believe that's on October 26th, starting at 9 a.m. We'd ask that you sign up. If you don't sign up and you show up, that's fine. We'll get you your flu shot is what we're doing that day.
But it's not COVID, just flu.
Just flu. Yep.
Anything else under other business?